Welcome to Romance Tales by Mandy. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Now, sit back, relax, and let's begin.
I built empires from nothing, negotiated with oil kings, outwitted Wall Street wolves, but nothing has ever made my hands shake the way they did this morning. 8 men in expensive suits sat across from me at the board table, each with eyes sharp enough to slice through my skin. My board, my company. Yet after the shit show with Vanessa, my now very public, very ex-fiancée, they looked at me like I was a liability.
Your personal life reflects on the brand, Rafael.
One of them said, "Code 4. You fucked up, now clean it up." They didn't want another scandal. Not with investors watching. Not with our biggest merger on the line. Stability sells. And I looked like a man who couldn't hold a woman for more than a season. That's when the idea hit me. Fake it. Appear stable. Give them a story that says, I'm committed. I've changed. I'm ready to settle. All I needed was someone I trusted. Someone real enough to sell the lie. Mia fucking Carter. Smart as hell. Sharp tongue. Heart of gold. Even if she hides it behind sarcasm and black jeans. We've been best friends for 7 years. She's seen me drunk, broken, furious. Never judged me. Never wanted anything from me. And she's the only woman I've never touched. Not because I didn't want to. God knows I've imagined it. Inappropriate thoughts at 2 a.m. watching her tuck that stubborn strand of hair behind her ear, laughing with that husky voice that makes my gut twist. But Mia was off limits. She had to be. So why the hell was I walking into her apartment now? Heart thudding like a rookie pitching a deal. She was barefoot, hair up in a messy knot, hoodie halfway off her shoulder. And when she looked up from her laptop, eyebrows raised, I almost forgot why I was there.
Ow. You've got that I need a favor and you're gonna hate it face.
She said, standing. I smirked. I do not.
You do. Spill.
So I did. Everything. She didn't laugh. Didn't freak out. Just stared at me, arms crossed, jaw tight.
You want me to pretend to be your girlfriend?
She repeated slowly. For 6 months. Events. Dinners. A few photos. Maybe a trip or 2.
And what do I get in return?
I stepped closer, heart pounding harder than it should have. Anything you want. She blinked.
That's dangerous, Moretti.
I trust you. Silence. Then, slowly her lips curved.
You're insane.
Probably.
And if I say yes?
I didn't breathe. Then we make it real. Convincing. No half measures. She studied me. And for a second I saw it. That flicker of heat behind her eyes. Like she was already imagining it. And damn me, I was too. The red dress she wore last Christmas. The way she once called me baby as a joke. And I haven't stopped thinking about it since. Her lips, close to mine at midnight on New Year's Eve, when we almost kissed. Almost. Now, there'd be no almosts. She finally said,
Fine. I'll do it.
I didn't celebrate. I didn't smile. I just looked her dead in the eye and said, Then you're mine now, Mia. For the next 6 months, you belong to me. She arched an eyebrow.
Just professionally, right?
I lied. Of course. But in my chest, the contract had already started to burn.
There are moments in life when the air shifts, so subtly you almost miss it. But tonight, as I sat across from Rafael Moretti, my best friend since college, with a contract in my hands and his eyes fixed on mine, I felt it. The shift. The change. This wasn't one of our usual impulsive midnight ideas, like getting drunk and crashing a costume gala in Miami, or flying to Napa because the wine tastes better at the source. This was different. This was insane.
Just 6 months, we make appearances together. Smile for cameras. Sell the illusion.
He said, his voice low and steady. The illusion of love with him. God help me, the word love made my stomach clench in ways I didn't want to analyze. I looked down at the crisp, expensive paper. It was all so official. His legal team had drafted a flawless agreement, a stipend for my time, a wardrobe allowance, clause that said I'd play the part convincingly in public and private, appearances, affection, proximity. But what really made my heart skip was the final line. At no point can either party engage in a real romantic relationship with anyone else during the term of this contract. I bit the inside of my cheek. So I'm fake dating you and fake celibate too? He smirked, the corner of his mouth twitching like he was enjoying my discomfort a little too much.
You can survive 6 months without a hookup, can't you?
My pulse tripped. What about you? He leaned in slightly, that infuriating glint in his dark eyes.
I'm already celibate.
Liar. I knew Rafael. The man didn't do cold streaks. Women threw themselves at him in every city, every country, every boardroom. He just had to look at someone and their knees would buckle. And now I was agreeing to be the girl on his arm, while pretending none of it affected me. Stupid. Stupid, so stupid. But when he reached for my hand, warm, firm, grounding, I didn't pull away.
You don't have to do this. You can say no. I'll figure something else out.
He said softer now. And that was the problem. 'Cause I wanted to do this. Not for the wardrobe. Not for the paycheck. For him. 'Cause for the first time, Rafael looked like he needed someone. Really needed. And the selfish, dangerous part of me wanted to be that someone. So I signed. My hand trembled just a little, but I didn't let it show. When I slid the papers back to him, something flickered in his expression. Approval? Relief? But it disappeared too fast to catch.
Congratulations. You're officially mine.
I rolled my eyes, but my throat was dry. You wish. His gaze dragged over me, slow, intentional, and heat rippled under my skin like a current.
No, Mia. You have no idea how badly I wish.
He murmured, voice husky. And just like that, the ground under us shifted again. I wasn't sure what I'd just agreed to, but I was certain of one thing. This was no longer just a favor. This was a fire, and I had just thrown myself into it.
She stepped out of the car, like a secret the universe had been keeping from me. Mia Carter, in black satin that clung to her curves like a second skin, her skin glowing under the city lights. Those full lips glossed and parted as she looked up at the building like she might change her mind and run. I couldn't breathe for a second. And that's saying something, because I've closed billion-dollar deals without breaking a sweat. But Mia tonight? She wasn't my best friend. She wasn't a fake girlfriend. She was mine, at least for the next 4 hours. Ready? I asked, my voice rougher than it should have been. She turned to me, eyes sharp.
Still time to back out, Moretti.
I smirked. Not a chance. Inside, the gala buzzed with champagne, ego, and the hum of high society. Photographers flashed. Waiters floated by with trays of caviar. Everyone who mattered in the industry was here. And every single pair of eyes landed on Mia the moment we entered. She slipped her arm through mine like it was the most natural thing in the world. And maybe it should have felt like a show, like strategy. But her skin was warm against my suit. Her scent, something floral with a hint of vanilla, made it impossible to think. And when she leaned into me and whispered,
Smile, baby. You're in love, remember?
I nearly forgot how to fake anything. Because God help me, I was smiling, and it didn't feel fake at all. We mingled. I introduced her as my girlfriend, the words unfamiliar on my tongue, but addictively sweet. She charmed everyone. Investors, CEOs, the snobbiest wives in Manhattan. She laughed like she belonged here. Like she wasn't the girl I once dragged to dive bars in hoodies and boots. And I kept looking at her. Too much. Too long. Then came Marcus Wells, oil tycoon, ruthless bastard, and the kind of man who thought every woman was for sale. He clapped me on the back and let his gaze fall all over Mia. Slowly.
You finally lock one down, Moretti. And a hell of a choice. She's a knockout.
He said, lifting his glass. I felt the smile on my face tighten. Because, yeah, he was right. She was. But he didn't get to look at her like that. Mia, bless her, just sipped her champagne and smiled sweetly. Like she didn't notice the way my hand on her lower back slid down just a little. Like she didn't feel the tension in my jaw. And when Marcus walked away, she leaned into my ear.
Relax. You're squeezing me like you're about to throw a punch.
I looked down at her. Really looked. The way her collarbone caught the light. The shimmer in her eyes. The way her lips tilted in that smirk I'd known for years. But now, under this dress, in this context, I didn't know a damn thing anymore. You're incredible tonight, I said before I could stop myself. Her smile faltered, just for a second, then came back, slower, softer.
You're not so bad yourself.
She whispered and turned away, leaving me staring after her like a man possessed. What the hell was I doing? This was supposed to be fake, professional, safe. But when she looked back at me from across the room, eyes smoldering, lips parted, I knew I was already too far gone, and there was no pretending about that.
I saw the flash before I felt the heat. 1 second I was laughing at something Rafael whispered, something ridiculous about how Marcus Wells looked like a boiled lobster in that red suit, and the next I caught the glint of a camera lens pointed directly at us. It was instinct. Or maybe it was strategy. Either way, Rafael didn't hesitate. He turned toward me, slid his hand up the side of my neck, and brought his mouth down on mine. Right there. In front of everyone. I froze. Then I melted. Because his lips weren't performing. They weren't rehearsed. There was nothing fake or controlled in the way he kissed me. It was heat. Raw. Unfiltered. And possessive. Like he needed the world to see me as his. The noise around us blurred. The music, the clinking glasses, the low murmurs of people networking, it all disappeared. All I could hear was the rush of my own pulse, the crackle of something wild and real curling in my belly. His mouth moved slowly at first, coaxing, savoring, until I kissed him back. God help me, I kissed him back. And then everything tilted. Kiss deepened. His hands splayed across my lower back, pulling me flush against him. I felt every inch of his chest against mine. The firm press of his body, the way he tasted, like dark liquor and danger, and the slight, almost imperceptible sound he made in the back of his throat when I tangled my fingers in his hair. It was 1 second too long to be innocent, 1 heartbeat too far to be safe. When we pulled away, finally, it was only because we had to, because the camera had already flashed and people were already turning their heads. I looked up at him, breathless. He didn't blink. Neither did I. And for the first time, I wasn't sure what role I was playing anymore. This wasn't supposed to happen. We had rules, a script, boundaries. But that kiss shattered all of them. And the worst part? I didn't want to put the pieces back together. I wanted to kiss him again, even if it burned me.
She said it was too late to drive home, and maybe it was. After the gala, the drinks, the endless small talk and handshakes, I offered to call her a car. She shook her head, kicked off her heels, and gave me that look, the one that says, "You know I'm right," before disappearing down the hallway to the guest room she's used 100 times before. It was supposed to be harmless, normal, comfortable. Mia's slept at my place dozens of times. We've shared takeout, wine, bad movies, even worse decisions. But this time everything feels different. Because now we're pretending. Now I've kissed her. Now I know what it feels like to have her meld into me. And I can't sleep. It's 2 a.m. I should be out cold. I've got a breakfast meeting in 5 hours. But my brain won't stop. My body won't let me rest. Not when it keeps playing that damn kiss on repeat. I told myself it was for show. Told myself it was the cameras, the game, the script we both signed up for. But I lied. To myself. To her. To everything that used to make sense. I get up, telling myself I'm only going to the kitchen for water. What I don't expect is to see her already there. Barefoot, back turned. She's wearing my t-shirt. The fridge light casts her in silver. Her hair is a mess, soft waves down her back, and her legs, long, bare, and moving as she searches for something in the cupboard. The hem lifts slightly when she reaches for a mug, exposing just enough skin to make my fist clench. She looks like a dream, or a problem I want to send my way through. She turns, and when she spots me, she jumps slightly.
Jesus, Rafael. You scared me.
I lean against the door frame, arms crossed, trying to stay casual, try not to stare. You should wear a warning sign. She squints.
What?
That. I gesture to the way the fabric clings to her hips. You looking like that in my kitchen. Do you have any idea what that does to a man who's been trying like hell to forget how your mouth tasted? Her breath hitches, just for a second, but I catch it. She crosses her arms, and I can tell it's not just about modesty. It's protection, control. She knows what's happening between us. She feels it too.
Rafael, we're just pretending, remember?
Yeah, pretending. Except there was nothing fake about the way my heart nearly pounded out of my chest when she kissed me back. Nothing fake about the ache I've had since watching her walk away in that dress. I step closer, slowly, like she might run. I remember, I murmur, but I also remember the way you sighed when I touched your waist. I remember the way your lips parted like you were daring me to go further. Her eyes flicker, her arms drop slightly, and now I continue, voice low. You're standing here in my shirt, half asleep and completely dangerous, and you expect me to just walk away? We're toe-to-toe now. Her breath is shaky. Her lips are parted. Mia, I whisper, brushing my fingers along her jaw. I shouldn't want you. She doesn't blink, but God help me, I do. And in that second, under the hum of the fridge, with silence thick around us and heat burning between us, I don't care about the rules. I just want her. All of her.
I wasn't supposed to end up in his bed. But maybe that started the second he kissed me. Not the fake kiss, the one for the cameras. I'm talking about this one, unplanned, breathless, angry. Kind that happens when two people stop pretending even for just 1 second. Started with a fight. Isn't that how it always starts? I'm not some toy for you to parade around, I snapped, pacing his living room, wearing his shirt still flushed from that moment in the kitchen. He was standing across from me, chest rising and falling, jaw tight.
You think that's what this is? You think I'm using you?
I think you're confused, I shot back, heart thudding. You don't get to kiss me like that and then act like we're just friends, Rafael. You don't get to look at me like I'm yours and still call it a contract. Something flickered in his eyes. Something dark and desperate. You think I haven't noticed the way you look at me? I whispered. Because I do. Every time. And it's not pretend. The silence stretched. Then he moved. Fast. 1 second I was standing there, lips parted, breath stuck in my throat, and the next his hands were on my face, his mouth crashing into mine like he couldn't wait another damn second. And I kissed him back. God, did I kiss him back? There was nothing gentle about it. It was heat and frustration and too many nights pretending we didn't want this. His hands tangled in my hair. My fingers gripped his shirt like it was the only thing keeping me upright. He backed me into the wall like he needed to feel every inch of me pressed to him. This isn't part of the deal, I gasped when his mouth moved down to my neck, devouring me like I was something forbidden. He pulled back just enough to look at me.
No, this is way past the deal.
He murmured. And then he lifted me. Just like that. As if I weighed nothing. As if he'd done it 1,000 times in his dreams. My legs wrapped around his waist, and we were moving down the hallway into his room, the world blurring around us. When we hit the mattress, I stopped thinking, 'cause his hands were on my skin. His mouth was on mine. And for the first time since he asked me to play this ridiculous role, I felt the lie crack wide open. This wasn't acting. It wasn't friendship. It was something hot and real and messy, and I didn't care about the consequences. Not when he was whispering my name like a promise between every kiss. His mouth was everywhere, my jaw, my neck, my collarbone. He kissed me like he was claiming every inch of me. Like he needed to learn me by heart. His fingers pushed the fabric aside, slow at first, then impatient. When the shirt came off, I should have felt shy. But not under his gaze. His eyes darkened, hungry, reverent. Like I was something sacred. Like he'd never wanted anyone the way he wanted me.
Mia, tell me to stop.
He whispered, his voice low and ragged. I didn't. I couldn't. I didn't want to. I pulled him down to me instead. And then it was heat and skin and tangled sheets. The weight of his body on mine. The way he touched me like he already knew what I needed. His hands learning me, exploring me, undoing me with every stroke, every kiss. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't just lust. It was slow and deep and real. When he finally moved inside me, it wasn't just physical, it was personal. My name fell from his lips like a prayer. And every movement, every breath, felt like a promise neither of us had said out loud yet. It was the kind of night that changes everything. Where you stop pretending, stop hiding, stop thinking. Where you let go completely. Later, tangled in his sheets, breathless and aching in the best way possible, he looked at me like I was more than a friend. More than a favor. And even though we didn't say it, we both knew. We had crossed a line. And nothing would ever be the same.
She was still in my bed when I woke up. Her hair spilled over the pillow like a halo of temptation, bare shoulders glowing in the early morning light. My shirt had slipped down one arm, revealing just enough to make it impossible to look away and even harder to breathe. Mia, my Mia, except she wasn't mine. Not like that. Not officially. Not according to the terms of the deal we made. But last night, I claimed her like she belonged to me, and I couldn't stop replaying it. The way she whispered my name when she came undone beneath me. The way her nails dug into my skin like she didn't want to let go. Like maybe, just maybe, she felt it too. That shift, that spark we'd been pretending didn't exist, igniting into a full-blown fire. But now it was morning, and reality was cruel. I slid out of bed, quietly, grabbing my robe, heart pounding like I'd done something wrong. I had no idea what the hell to say. I was the one who asked for this fake engagement. I was the one who promised it wouldn't change anything. So why did I feel like everything had changed? I walked into the kitchen, poured myself a black coffee, and stared out at the skyline like it could give me answers. I could still feel her everywhere, her scent on my skin, the imprint of her body on my mattress, the sound of her moans echoing in my mind like a fucking song I couldn't stop humming. God, I wanted her again. I wanted to push all the dishes off this counter and bend her over it. I wanted to taste her slow and hard and deep. I wanted to wake her up with my mouth between her thighs. I wanted everything we had last night and more. But I also wanted to protect her from me. Because if I let this spiral, if I let myself go down that road again, she'd get hurt. And Mia was the one person in this world I couldn't afford to lose. She was more than beautiful, more than sex. She was my anchor, my constant, the only one who saw past the billionaire armor and into the man beneath it. And I just put that in danger for a night of pleasure that now felt tangled with guilt. But at least I had an excuse to leave. I had a breakfast meeting at 7. A power investor. Old money. Rigid as hell. I couldn't afford to be late or distracted. And right now, I was both. So yeah, I was grateful for that meeting. Grateful I didn't have to face her in that bed. Grateful I could get dressed and pretend for just a little longer that I was still in control of all this. Except control was long gone the second I pulled her into my arms last night and made her mine in every way but name. I heard her stir behind me. The sheets rustled. Her soft voice floated from the hallway.
Rafael?
My fingers clenched tighter around the mug. Don't turn around. Don't look at her. Don't ruin this more than you already have. I stared hard into my coffee like it might tell me how to protect her. Because this wasn't just sex. It was her. And she was everything I could never afford to lose.
I heard the front door close and he didn't say goodbye. Didn't leave a note. Didn't slide back under the covers to hold me for a minute longer. Whisper something careless and sweet like he used to when we were just friends. Like before. I stared at the ceiling for a long time. Pillow beside me was still warm, smelled like his skin. The sheets were a mess, wrinkled with the evidence of what we did last night. My body still throbbed with it, sensitive in places I hadn't let anyone touch in months, maybe years. But Rafael had touched all of me. And now he was gone. The shower burned, but not hot enough to wash off the way his hands felt on my skin. Not enough to make me forget the way he looked at me before he kissed me like he'd been waiting his entire life. But if that kiss was everything, why is he acting like it was nothing? By the time I walked into the kitchen, his world was already moving on without me. His housekeeper had come and gone. His calendar was cleared off the counter. His espresso mug was in the sink, empty. He was pretending last night didn't happen. And that hurt more than I expected. Maybe I was naive. Maybe I read too much into the way he touched my face after. The way his lips slowed against mine like he didn't want it to end. Maybe I made the mistake every woman makes when the man she loves sleeps with her. Yes, loves. God. I didn't mean to think it. But the word came anyway, sticky and dangerous and real. I sat at the island and stared at my untouched coffee. I told myself it didn't matter. That it was a line crossed in heat. That we were adults and this was just a wrinkle in the plan. But my heart knew better. 'Cause Rafael wasn't just my best friend. He wasn't just some hot billionaire CEO with a penthouse and a broken heart. He was mine. And when he looked at me last night, I saw the man beneath all the armor. The man who held me like I was precious. Who whispered my name like it meant something. Who moved inside me like I was the only thing that had ever made sense. But this morning, he barely looked me in the eye before walking out the door. And now I can't stop asking myself the question I swore I'd never ask. Did he use me? Or did I let myself believe there could be more because I was already falling? Either way, the silence he left behind speaks louder than anything he could have said. Now it's been 3 days. 72 hours since Rafael touched me like I was his, kissed me like I was oxygen, and then vanished. Not a single text. Not a call. Not even a damn emoji. First, I told myself he was busy. Meetings. Contracts. Billionaire things I didn't understand and never cared to ask about. But that lie wore thin around hour 48, when I checked my phone for the 100th time and still saw nothing but a screen full of silence. I thought I could handle this. That I could smile through it, pretend it was just sex, just one night. That I could move on like he apparently did. But I can't. 'Cause every time I close my eyes, I feel him all over again. The way he murmured my name with that hoarse, hungry voice. The way his hands trembled when he held my hips like he was trying not to lose control. The way he kissed me like he meant it. And the worst part? I believed it. I believed him. It's Thursday now, and I haven't left my apartment except to pace my living room during virtual meetings. Work still happened, proposals, campaigns, brand updates, but I kept my camera off more times than I should. I stayed in oversized t-shirts, hair in a bun, eyes on my screen, and my heart somewhere else entirely. The second I signed off, I dove into my couch and into 3 straight seasons of some British baking show just to distract myself. I've eaten cereal for dinner and wine for breakfast. And when the silence got too loud, I even reread our fake engagement contract. Twice. Nothing in the fine print says what to do when you fall for your best friend, and he ghosts you right after wrecking you in the best night of your life. I should be furious. I am furious. But mostly, I'm heartbroken. 'Cause this silence between us, it's not just distance. It's punishment. And I don't even know what I did wrong. Until this morning, when my phone finally lit up. His name, on the screen, just a single word, hey. That's it. Not sorry, not let's talk, not I miss you. Just hey. I stared at it for so long the screen went black again. I didn't answer. Not yet. 'Cause part of me wants to scream at him. Part of me wants to cry into his chest and ask why he disappeared after giving me everything. Then part of me still aches for him, still wants him, even when I shouldn't. So yeah, maybe I'll answer. Maybe I'll go to that stupid party he'll probably mention next. But I'm not sure I can go back to pretending this isn't killing me.
It's been 3 days since I touched her. 3 days since her body arched beneath mine, since her voice broke on my name in the dark. 3 days of silence, of pretending, and it's killing me. I told myself I was protecting her, that pulling away was the right thing to do. Because if I let myself get closer, if I let this become real, she'll be dragged into everything that comes with me. My past, my reputation, the mess I keep locked behind my perfectly tailored suits. But that night, that fucking night, it wasn't just sex. It wasn't just heat. It was her, looking up at me like I was something worth unraveling. And now I'm supposed to go back to normal? So yeah, I avoided her. Didn't text. Didn't call. Told myself I was busy. Truth is, I was afraid. Afraid that if I saw her again, I wouldn't stop at just one night. And I was right. I hate tuxedos. Not because they're uncomfortable, but because every time I wear one lately, I end up making decisions I can't take back. She walks into the ballroom exactly 26 minutes late, and yet time stops the moment I see her. Mia, in that dress, emerald green, off the shoulder, hugging her curves like the fabric was sewn directly onto her skin. Hair swept up, neck bare, mouth painted the soft pink she knows drives me insane. She smiles at someone as she enters. Not me. It doesn't matter. She doesn't have to smile at me for my whole damn body to remember what she sounds like when she moans. God, what the hell is happening to me? I invited her tonight out of necessity. The same reason we started this whole charade. To show the board I'm stable, recovering, human. But she walks toward me, and nothing about this feels like business.
Rafael, you look good.
She says softly, with that little tilt of her head that makes her earrings sway. You look edible. I swallow the words down like they're poison. You clean up okay yourself? I manage. It comes out hoarse. Stiff. Like I've forgotten how to be her friend. Because maybe I have. For 2 hours I do the dance. Shake hands. Smile. Say the right things. And every time I glance sideways, some other man is talking to Mia. She's polite, gracious, laughs at the right moments. And I want to break every champagne flute in this room. But I keep my cool until he walks up. Philip Morgan, executive VP of one of our biggest partners. Married 3 times. Smiles like a shark. And he looks at Mia like she's dessert.
Mia Carter. No wonder Rafael's been keeping you a secret.
He drawls, eyes dragging over her body like he's entitled to it. She stiffens slightly but smiles.
Nice to meet you.
He leans in, too close, breathes something I don't hear. She laughs politely, too politely, and I see red. I don't think. I just move. Next thing I know, I'm beside her, hand at her waist, dragging her just enough into me so there's no space left between us. She's not a secret, I say coldly. She's mine. The words hang there, sharp, loud, even over the music. Mia stiffens. Philip lifts his hands like I just pulled a gun.
I didn't mean anything by it.
He mutters, already backing away. I don't look at him. My eyes are on her, wide, surprised, flushed. The second we're alone again, she turns to me.
Rafael, what the hell was that?
I can't answer, because I don't know if I'm protecting her or staking a claim. She's not mine. This is fake. This is a performance. But that doesn't explain why my heart's thudding like I just fought for her. Why I want to take her back to my place and remind her how real we felt the other night. Or why the thought of another man, even looking at her, makes me want to set the whole damn world on fire. I'm losing control. And it's not the tuxedo's fault this time. It's her. And maybe it's me too.
I waited for him to come after me. After the gala. After he dragged me into his arms and claimed me like I actually belonged to him. But he didn't. Not that night. Not the next day. Not even a text. So I went to him. 'Cause I couldn't keep spinning in this limbo, floating between fantasy and reality, unsure of what the hell I meant to Rafael Moretti. I let myself in with the spare key he'd given me back when all this was still just pretend. My heart was pounding as I stepped into his penthouse, the air thick with memories I didn't want to carry alone anymore. He was by the window, phone in hand, city lights framing his silhouette. Cold, beautiful, distant. Rafael. He turned. And when his eyes landed on me, God, they were everything. Sharp, dark, torn, but not enough. I crossed the room, stood in front of him with my heart practically breaking out of my chest. We need to talk. He didn't move, didn't speak. His silence was a blade pressing against my skin. I need to know, I said, voice shaking. What are we doing? Is this just sex? Just some game to keep the tabloids happy while you close another deal? Till nothing. I swallowed hard. Because if that's all it is, I can't do this anymore. I won't. He blinked, jaw tight, muscles tense like he was holding something in. But he said nothing. And that silence, it shattered something in me. You know, I said softly, you pull me close in public like I'm yours. Kiss me like you mean it. And then disappear. Like I'm supposed to just be okay with it. Be your dirty little secret wrapped in a designer dress. His eyes flickered, pain hidden behind layers of control. But still, silence. I'm not a contract, Rafael. I'm not a convenient body or a perfect lie for your perfect image. I felt tears burn the back of my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. I need more than this. I deserve more than this. And when he still didn't say a word, not one single word, I exhaled the last breath I'd been holding on to. That was my answer. The silence was the answer. I nodded slowly, walked past him to the door. My heels echoed against his expensive floor, a rhythm that felt like goodbye. Right before I left, I looked back one last time. I won't be a lie, Rafael. Then I walked out. And this time, I wasn't sure I'd come back.
I've closed deals worth billions under pressure. I've survived boardroom wars, hostile takeovers, and scandals with my name splashed across headlines. But nothing prepared me for the silence after Mia walked out of my apartment. It's been 5 days. 5 days of hell, pretending I'm fine. Sitting through meetings, nodding at numbers I couldn't care less about. Avoiding questions with the practiced ease of a man, trained to hide every emotion. But I'm not hiding. I'm bleeding. The moment she closed that door, the air changed. My world, this carefully curated empire I built on logic, discipline, and ice, tilted. I told myself I was protecting her. From me. From this mess. From the chaos that follows a man like me. But the truth? I was protecting myself. From wanting her too much. From needing her in ways I didn't know I could. From loving her. Yeah. Fuck. I don't even know when it started. Maybe it was her laugh that cracked something open. Or the way she never backed down from me. Or how she looked half drunk on sunshine that morning in my kitchen, standing barefoot in my shirt. Whatever it was, it's not going away. I've been trying to drown her out with work. Late nights, cold coffee, empty victories. But I see her everywhere. Her voice echoing in my penthouse like a ghost I can't exorcise. Her scent still clinging to the sheets I haven't touched. The memory of her lips on mine, soft, desperate, real. I miss her. God, I miss her. And that's the part that's killing me. Because I thought I could control this. But losing her, it hurts in a place I didn't know existed. And now I'm starting to wonder if I pushed her too far. If maybe this time, silence wasn't strength, it was cowardice. And the cost of that might be the one woman who made me want something more.
People say time heals everything, but no one talks about the silence in between. Kind that stretches between messages that never come and nights that feel colder no matter how many blankets you throw on. It's been a week. 7 days since I left Rafael's apartment. 7 days pretending that I'm okay when I'm not. 7 days without hearing his voice. I've buried myself in work. Zoom meetings. Emails. Strategy sessions where I nod at the screen like I'm fully present while my mind is 1,000 miles away. With him. I don't cry. At least not where anyone can see. But the ache has settled in deep. The kind that doesn't scream, just lingers, dull and heavy. I wish I could hate him. God, that would be easier. But what I feel, it's more complicated. I don't just miss the sex or the way his hands knew my body like they'd memorized it in another life. I miss us. I miss our stupid inside jokes during briefings. The way he'd roll his eyes when I challenged him but secretly loved it. Quiet conversations after long days when the world fell away and it was just two people, stripped of ego, sharing little pieces of themselves. I miss our friendship. That strange, unexpected bond that formed somewhere between heated arguments and lazy breakfasts. The way we'd tease, provoke, support each other without saying it out loud. And I know I shouldn't. Because whatever we were, friends, lovers, something in between, it came with an expiration date the moment that damn contract was signed. Till I catch myself opening my phone, reading old texts. His sarcastic one-liners. The rare, "You did good," that made my chest tighten for reasons I refused to name back then. Now, I'd give anything to hear them again. I've been invited to 2 gallery openings, 1 charity dinner, and a rooftop cocktail hour. I've declined them all. I don't want to make small talk. I don't want to wear heels and fake a smile. Because I know deep down I'd spend the whole night searching a crowd for a face that won't be there. The worst part? He's not calling. Not even a hey. Not texting. Not showing up at my door like some cliched romantic drama. And I hate how much I wish he would. Because the truth is, I didn't fall in love with a contract. I fell in love with him. With all his walls, his shadows, his impossible logic. And now he's gone. Maybe that's his way of protecting me. Or maybe he's already moved on. Maybe what broke me barely scratched him. And still, I hope he's thinking about me. Missing us. Not just the sex, not just the image we built, but the strange, messy, real thing that grew underneath it. Because I'm not just mourning a man I shouldn't have fallen for. I'm mourning a best friend who vanished the second things got real.
I think I'm in love with her, I say out loud, my voice low, rough, almost foreign to my own ears. The wind doesn't answer, but I keep talking. I'm sitting on the grass, legs bent, elbows resting on my knees, right in front of her headstone. The sun's barely up, casting long, golden shadows across the cemetery. It smells like morning dew and regrets. I haven't been here in almost a year. Too long. But it never takes long for the ache to wake up again. I didn't mean to be, I add, a bitter laugh escaping my throat. You would have liked her, you know? She's nothing like the girls I usually go for. She's smarter than me, for one. Calls me out on my bullshit without flinching. I glance at the name engraved in marble. Natalie Moretti. There are flowers already here. Someone from the family must have come by earlier this week. But I brought coffee instead. The kind she liked. Black with a splash of hazelnut creamer. I set it beside the stone like she's about to reach for it and roll her eyes at me for getting the ratio wrong. Again, I've been pushing Mia away. I continue, pretending this thing between us is temporary. Just some convenient arrangement. But it's not. I drag a hand down my face. The words feel heavy, but also honest. Like I'm finally admitting something I've been carrying for too damn long. She kissed me once, early on, and I told myself it was just the moment. Just tension. But maybe I've been falling for her since the first time she looked at me and saw me. Not Rafael Moretti, the CEO. Just me. I pause. She's not like you, but she's got the same kind of heart. Big, messy, honest as hell. The silence between the gravestones feels thick. Familiar. I used to come here all the time after you died. Talk to you like this. When I had no one else who really got me. But Mia, she does. And that scares the hell out of me. I'm not afraid of loving her. I say finally, surprising myself. Not really. What terrifies me is losing her before I even get to tell her the truth. That I miss her. That I think about her when I wake up. That her laugh plays in my head when my day's shit. That when she walked out that night, something in me cracked wide open. I shake my head, eyes stinging. I didn't even realize I'd been keeping her at arm's length until she wasn't there anymore. And now I can't stop thinking. I trail off. My voice drops. What if I always loved her, Nat? I just didn't know how to call it that. A gust of wind brushes past, rustling the trees above. I like to think it's you, telling me I'm a dumbass for taking this long. I want to do this right, I whisper. With her, no more hiding behind fear. No more pretending I'm some untouchable machine who doesn't feel. I stand slowly, brushing the dew from my jeans, and look down at your name one last time. You always said I'd meet someone who would undo me. I smiled despite myself. You were right. Then I leave the coffee where it is, shove my hands into my pockets, and walk away. Not from the pain, but toward something real. Because maybe love was never the risk. Maybe the real risk is letting it pass me by.
His name is Noah. He's smart. Attractive in that good on paper kind of way. He works in marketing. He listens when I talk. Smells like expensive cologne and has perfect teeth. He's the kind of guy I should want. So why, when he leans in to kiss me, does my stomach twist like I've just made a huge mistake? We're standing outside a rooftop bar in Soho. The city is buzzing, neon lights, music in the distance, cabs honking like impatient lovers. And all I can think is, Rafael never liked crowded places. He'd pull me into a quiet corner instead. He'd whisper in my ear, not because he was being charming, but because he couldn't not touch me. Noah kisses me. It's soft, polite. His hand cups my cheek like he's afraid I'll break. But I don't feel a damn thing. Not the spark. Not the heat. Definitely not the ache Rafael used to stir in me with just one look. I pull back before the kiss can deepen, offering a forced smile and something like an apology I can't quite form. He doesn't push. Just nods and rubs the back of his neck awkwardly.
Did I read that wrong?
No. I lie. I guess I'm not ready. He nods again like he understands. Maybe he does. Maybe he's been on the other side of this before, being the one who couldn't compete with someone else's ghost. I'm sorry, I whisper, stepping back. I thought I could do this. He doesn't push. Just nods once, hands slipping into his coat pockets.
It's okay. Really.
I murmur something about needing to get home and climb into the back of a cab, not daring to check my phone, not daring to feel the weight of Rafael's absence. But I do. God, I do. And it hits harder when I'm back in my apartment, my heels discarded, wine untouched, my mind replaying a clause in that damn contract I signed like a fool. At no point can either party engage in a real romantic relationship with anyone else during the term of this contract. Clause he insisted on. Cold. Calculated. He said it was for optics. But maybe it was control. Or maybe it was something darker, something more possessive. And now here I am, technically in breach. Kiss. A meaningless kiss. But does it even matter when my heart never left him? I stare at the document on my laptop, still bookmarked like a scar. The fake relationship. The terms. The timeline. And suddenly I feel like a prisoner in designer shoes. I want to break the contract. Rip it apart. Tell Rafael he doesn't get to keep me on paper while pushing me away in real life. 'Cause it's not just about a kiss. It's about dignity. It's about not letting someone make you feel like a secret, a possession, placeholder. I deserve more than that. More than cold silences and unfinished sentences and looks that burn but never lead anywhere. But even as I close my laptop with trembling fingers, even as I say to myself I'm done, I can still feel the ghost of his hands on my skin. And yet I can still feel the way he used to look at me when he thought I wasn't watching, like I was the most dangerous secret he'd ever tasted. His voice, low and wrecked, saying my name like a prayer and a curse all at once. God, why him? Why did it have to be him who ruined every other man for me? Noah's hands were nice, gentle, respectful, but they didn't burn. His kiss didn't leave me breathless. Didn't undo me. And when I closed my eyes, trying to feel something, I saw Rafael. The way he'd kiss my shoulder in the morning. The way his fingers would tangle in my hair when he got too lost to care about rules or contracts. The way he'd say nothing at all but make me feel everything. I pressed the heels of my palms to my eyes, trying to shake him off. But it's useless. 'Cause the truth is cruel and simple. Running from Rafael doesn't protect me. It just robs me of what could have been. Everything.
The contract is sitting on my desk like a ticking bomb. Neat, unmarked, flawless on the surface, like everything I used to think mattered. But it's just paper. And for the first time in my life, I'm ready to set fire to the things that don't matter anymore. Because she does. Mia. Fucking Mia. With her stubborn mouth, her smart-ass comebacks, her chaos and heat and tenderness I didn't know how to handle. The woman I pushed away because I was too much of a coward to admit what I've known for weeks. Maybe years. I love her. Not in some safe, convenient, polished way. No, I love her like a storm. Like a man who's been starving for something real and finally found it. And then nearly let it slip through his hands. So I walk out. No driver. No entourage. No excuses. I need to find her, and I don't give a damn how many blocks I have to cross to do it. She answers her door with cautious eyes and bare feet. Her hair's tied in a messy bun, like she couldn't decide if she wanted to sleep, cry, or curse me out. The second she sees me, her spine straightens. Walls. Thick, icy walls.
Did you come to rewrite the contract?
She asks. Cool. Controlled. God, she's hurting. And I did that. No, I say. I came to end it. A flicker of pain in her eyes. She turns like she's about to close the door. Mia, wait. I step in, gently, but without hesitation. And I pull the damn contract from my coat. Folded in half. Torn right down the middle. This was the worst decision I ever made. You're not a deal. You're not some pawn in a game I don't even want to play anymore. She stares at the ripped paper in my hands. Silent. Wary. I don't want a fake girlfriend, I say. I don't want rules, or clauses, or stage photos for the press. I pause. My heart's hammering like it's trying to break through my ribs. I want you. No conditions. No act. Just you. She blinks, like she doesn't trust what she's hearing. Like her heart is on the edge of a cliff, and mine is the one pushing it forward. I love you, Mia. The words fall from my lips and leave me breathless. I think I've loved you from the second you threatened to knee me in the balls if I touched your coffee again. Her laugh is soft, broken, but it's there. And her eyes, her eyes, they start to shine like they used to before I shattered everything. I'm an idiot, I whisper, but I'm yours, if you'll have me. She looks at me for what feels like a lifetime. Then she walks toward me, slow, careful, until her fingers are curled in the front of my coat. And she kisses me like she's starving too. There's no audience, no photographers, no contract hanging over our heads. Just her lips on mine, just my hands in her hair, just the sound of two people finally telling the truth without saying another word.
He ended the contract. Just like that. And no lawyers. No signatures. No headlines. Just Rafael standing in my doorway saying he didn't want a fake girlfriend anymore because nothing about us had ever been fake to him. And then he said it. The words that burned through every wall I built.
I love you.
I didn't cry then. I didn't speak. I just stood there, heart racing, trying to figure out if I was dreaming or finally waking up. And now, hours later, we're standing face to face again. This time, no pretense, no rules, just the heavy truth hanging between us. The night air is thick with tension, but his eyes, God, those eyes, they look different, softer, open, like he's finally letting me see the man he hides from everyone else. But my heart still aches with everything unsaid. I should have said something back, I murmur. When you told me. But I froze. He shakes his head, stepping closer.
You don't owe me anything.
I owe myself this, I cut in gently. Because I've spent weeks pretending I was okay. Telling myself you didn't matter. That I was better off walking away. My voice cracks. And this time I let the tears come. But you mattered, Rafael. You always did. He takes a slow breath like he's bracing for impact, but I keep going. You weren't just a man I kissed in front of flashing cameras. You weren't just a contract I signed. You were the person I looked for across a room when I felt out of place. The voice I needed when my anxiety kicked in. The one I trusted even when I didn't want to. He blinks fast, like he's the one holding back now. And when you said you loved me, I stepped forward, something inside me broke wide open. He watches me, motionless, like one wrong word might shatter the moment. So I reach for his hand. I lace my fingers with his, and I feel the tremble there. I don't want a man who hides behind contracts or control. I want you. The real you. Messy. Complicated. Flawed. A breath escapes me like a confession. I want the man who looked at me like I was his world, even when he was too scared to say it out loud. He pulls me into him then, not like before when it was all heat and urgency. This is slower, fiercer in a different way. Like he's reclaiming something he almost lost. His hands cradle my face. His forehead presses to mine.
I see you, and I'm never looking away again.
And when he kisses me this time, it's not a question. It's an answer. To every unspoken fear. To every late-night ache. To every part of us that stopped pretending and started believing. 'Cause we don't need a contract. We just need each other. And maybe we always have.
The city's quieter at this hour. Maybe it's just how high up we are. Maybe it's her. The last time we stood on this rooftop, she was just a friend in a borrowed dress, holding a flute of champagne like it might bite her. I remember watching her back then, how uncomfortable she looked in a world that fed on pretenses. I remember thinking she was a puzzle I didn't have time to solve. Now, I know every piece. The air is cool tonight, brushing against her skin as the wind toys with the hem of her black silk dress. She's barefoot. She insisted, and I let her because, hell, she always knew how to walk through my world on her own terms. We're standing in the same spot where it all started. And for once, there are no cameras, no reporters, no expectations. Just us, just breath, just heartbeats. I've been thinking about this moment for weeks, I say, breaking the silence as she looks out over the skyline. But every version I imagined felt too polished, too choreographed. She turns to me slowly, the moonlight soft over her features, making her look like something straight out of a dream I never deserved. I take a step toward her, because I didn't want it to feel like the beginning of something perfect. I wanted it to feel real, the way we are. Her eyes glisten. She already knows something's coming. I used to think control kept me safe, that if I could define every detail, I wouldn't get hurt. I laugh under my breath. Then you walked in with your chaotic heart and your ridiculous caffeine addiction, and you ruined every plan I ever made. She lets out a breathy laugh, then covers her mouth when it trembles. But you also rebuilt everything I didn't know was broken. I continue, voice lowering. You didn't just teach me how to feel again. You made me want to. I reach into the inside pocket of my blazer. Her eyes widen the second she sees the small velvet box. And yeah, my hands are shaking. I don't want to pretend anymore, Mia. I open the box. The ring catches the city lights behind her, but my eyes never leave hers. I don't want rules or masks or make-believe. I just want you. Real. Raw. Mine. She stares at me, lips parted, eyes full of something I used to be terrified of. Faith. I'm not offering you a contract, I whisper. I'm offering you forever. Will you marry me? For a second, the world stands still. Then she drops to her knees, right there on the rooftop, grabbing my face with both hands and kisses me like a storm. When she finally pulls away, her voice is hoarse, breathless.
Yes, Rafael. God, yes.
And just like that, the noise of the city fades. Because she said yes. Because I get to love her out loud every day for the rest of my life. No more pretending. No more fear. Only truth. Only her.
If someone had told me a year ago that I'd be walking down the aisle toward Rafael Moretti, not under a fake arrangement, not under contract, but out of raw, reckless, unapologetic love, I would have laughed. Or cried. Or both. But here I am, in a white dress I didn't choose for show, with a heart that's never felt more exposed, and with no idea how the hell I got so lucky. The venue isn't grand. Not by billionaire standards. No Versailles-style estate. No guest list filled with CEOs and socialites. Just a converted vineyard outside of Florence, with candlelight flickering along the stone walls, vines curling like whispers into the sky, and the scent of lavender wrapping around everything like a memory I don't want to let go of. I walk barefoot down the aisle because Rafael said he wanted me comfortable, and I said I wanted to feel everything. The grass beneath my feet, the earth, the moment, and him. God, him. He's standing at the altar in a black suit, no tie, first button undone because I told him I liked it that way. His eyes are locked on mine, stormy, steady, and vulnerable in a way only I get to see now. He doesn't blink as I get closer, doesn't breathe. And when I reach him, when my hand slides into his, I feel his thumb brush the inside of my wrist like a silent vow. I'm here. I choose you. The officiant starts speaking, but I barely hear it. 'Cause suddenly I'm lost in everything we survived to get here. The fake relationship. Cold silences. Kisses that were never supposed to mean anything. The nights where I swore I hated him even as I dreamed about him. The way he said he didn't do love. Until he did. For me. When it's time to say our vows, Rafael takes a breath and says, quietly but firmly,
I wrote mine this morning. I tried all week, but nothing felt right until I saw you walking toward me.
My heart skips. He continues,
I used to think contracts kept things clean, safe, predictable. But then you came in and ruined my systems with your loud laugh, your terrible coffee orders, and the way you wore every emotion like armor and softness at once. I tried to keep you out, Mia, but you didn't just break the rules. I let you. Because somewhere along the line, I didn't want to protect myself anymore. I just wanted to love you.
A tear escapes before I can stop it.
My vow is to never ask you to be anything less than exactly who you are. To never build walls between us again. And to never forget that the best thing that ever happened to me started with a lie.
He slides the ring onto my finger, and I swear I forget how to breathe. When it's my turn, I laugh because I'm crying too much to speak. But then I find my voice. I used to think you were impossible, cold, arrogant, untouchable. And yeah, you were all those things. I smile through the tears. But you were also the man who saw me when no one else did, who made me believe I could be something more than the girl hired to play pretend, who kissed me like I was real, even when we both swore it wasn't. I touch his chest. Right over the heart I know he swore to guard. My vow is simple. I will love you when it's easy, and especially when it's not. I will never fake a single thing with you again. And I will spend the rest of my life proving that the best stories aren't the ones we plan. They're the ones we fight for. The officiant pronounces us husband and wife, and Rafael doesn't wait. His hands are on my waist, his lips crashing into mine, and the world spins as he kisses me like he just got oxygen back in his lungs. Later, we dance barefoot under the stars. We spill wine on each other. We sneak away to the vines and make love like the contract never existed. Because it doesn't. Not anymore. There's only us now. No clauses. No rules. Just love. Just truth. Just forever.